Hey everyone, welcome back to Loops by Lisa, and in today's tutorial I'm going to teach you how to make the slip knot and chain. This is the basis for learning how to make most crochet projects, so let's get started. In today's tutorial I'm going to be using the letter H size 5mm crochet hook in the brand Boy. You can use any crochet hook that you'd like, and you can also purchase it from a craft store near you. You also need a skein of yarn or any scraps of yarn lying around. I'm using the Red Heart Super Saver yarn. There are a few different ways to make the slip knot, and in the way that I make it, I do not use my crochet hook, so I'm going to place it to the side. To begin, I'm going to take the tail end of my yarn and I'm going to cross it over with the string that's connected to the skein of yarn. It should create something that looks like a ribbon. And once you have this ribbon, you're going to take that tail end that we just crossed over and you're going to line it up with the hole. Once you line it up with the hole, you're going to slowly take that tail end and pull it upwards. You should have something that looks like this. And now you're going to pull upwards and create a slip knot. Once you've completed your slip knot, you want to go ahead and insert your crochet hook into that loop on your hook, and you want to make it a little bit more tighter. You don't want it to be too loose or too tight. If it's too loose, then you're not going to have control and your hook might slip out. And if you have it too tight, you're not going to be able to get your hook through it all, and your stitches are going to be extremely tight and small, and they're going to be difficult to get through each chain. So you want to make sure that it's not too tight and not too loose. Now that we have our slip knot, we want to go ahead and start creating chains. To make a chain, you want to hold on to that slip knot right underneath your crochet hook. You always want to hold on to this because that's how you're going to have control over your crocheting. To begin our chains, I'm going to hold the crochet hook in my dominant hand. In this case, I'm a right-handed person, so I'm going to hold my crochet hook in this hand. And then in my left hand, I like to have my middle finger and my thumb hold on to that knot that I created. To begin making chains, you're going to do a yarn over your hook, just like this. And once you rotate your hook, you're going to pull through the loop that's on our hook. So this is the loop on our hook, and we're going to pull through it, just like that. Remember that the loop on the hook at the beginning does not count, so this is our first chain. So we're going to repeat the same process. We're going to yarn over and pull through. As you create more and more chains, you can go ahead and move your finger up, so you always want to hold right underneath your crochet hook, as demonstrated here. You can see that the hook is a little bit more tapered, and you want to try to get all your loops to be the same size. So in order to do that, you want to have your loops on the fatter part of the crochet hook versus the tiny little tapered part right here. If you have all your loops right about here versus towards the skinnier part, you're going to have more stability in the chains being all the same size. So again, yarn over your hook and pull through that loop on your hook. When you create more and more chains, you're going to notice that the front part of your work is more flat and smooth, whereas the back part of the chain is a little bit bumpy and rigid, and that's completely okay. You're going to continue making chains until you feel comfortable. You might get a little bit of a tension issue as a beginner, but I encourage you to keep trying, and eventually your tension will even itself out. Even if you notice the tension is a little bit too loose, then you can just go ahead and tear your work out and just start over again. The great part about crocheting is if you mess up on your project and you want to take your work apart, it's not going to hurt you. So all you have to do is remove your hook and take the longer end and pull it out just like that. And then you can put your hook right back inside. This is called frogging, and they call it frogging because you're kind of ripping it out and it makes a noise that a frog makes, which I never really understood, but that's what they call it. So it's okay if you need to tear it out and start over. So continue this method of chaining over and over until you're very comfortable. So once you get your chain going, it will look something like this. And once you begin working on more and more projects, you're going to have chains that are sometimes as long as 100 or 200, depending on what you're making. So there you go. Thank you for joining me on today's tutorial and learning how to make the slip knot in the chain. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up down below. And if you have any questions or critiques, please leave comments and feel free to subscribe to see all future videos of me teaching you guys how to make different crochet projects and also learn how to do stitches.